Guys, I still can't believe my teacher gave me detention for this. Okay, quick recap. It was the last lesson on a Friday, everyone was exhausted, and the classroom was absolute chaos. People were talking, chairs were scraping, someone at the back was literally throwing paper across the room. I was just sitting there. Then, out of nowhere, my teacher stops the lesson, points straight at me, and says, "Stay behind after class." I actually looked around because I thought she was talking to someone else. Nope, the bell rings. Everyone leaves, and she tells me I'm getting detention for disrupting the class. I just stood there thinking, what? I hadn't even said a word. Meanwhile, the guy who'd been launching paper airplanes all lesson walked straight out the door like he'd done absolutely nothing. So I tried explaining that I wasn't even talking. She cuts me off and says, "Don't argue, you're making it worse." Making what worse? I literally got detention for defending myself. The best part? The next day, one of my classmates tells the teacher it wasn't me. It was the group behind me making all the noise. She just pauses for a second, looks at me, and goes, "Well, you've already served the detention now. That's it. No apology. No, my bad. Nothing." So apparently in high school, once you've been blamed, the detention is non-refundable. Guys, my grandma just got scammed, and I still can't believe how convincing it was. She's always been careful with her money, so when she called me sounding completely panicked, I knew something was wrong. She told me she'd gotten a phone call from the bank, saying someone was trying to empty her account. They already knew her full name, where she lived, and even the last few digits of her card, so of course, she believed them. They told her the only way to keep her money safe was to move it into a secure account before the hackers got there first. They kept her on the phone the entire time, telling her not to hang up because it was an emergency. Every time she started doubting it, they'd say, "We're trying to protect your savings." So she transferred the money. The second the payment went through, the call ended. She tried calling the number back. Nothing. That's when she called the real bank. And the first thing they told her made my stomach drop. There was never a secure account. The people she'd been talking to weren't from the bank at all. They were scammers. Years of savings gone in a matter of minutes. Please remind your grandparents that banks will never ask you to move your money into a safe account. It could save them from losing everything. Guys, I swear PE isn't a school subject. It's psychological warfare. Every PE teacher I've ever had starts the lesson the exact same way. "All right, everyone, 5 laps around the field." Meanwhile, they're standing there with a clipboard and a whistle, like they're coaching the Olympics. So we finish the laps, barely breathing, thinking we're done. Nope. Then it's burpees, then push-ups, then shuttle runs, then some exercise they made up 5 seconds ago. At this point, half the class is questioning their life choices. But here's what I've never understood. The PE teacher never does any of it. They'll stand there yelling, "Come on, faster, keep those knees up." "Sir, you haven't moved since 8:15. Then someone asks, "Can you show us how?" And suddenly it's, "No, I've got a bad knee." A bad knee? That's interesting. Because 5 minutes ago, you wanted me to sprint until I saw my ancestors. And somehow, they're never out of breath. They're walking around with a coffee in one hand, whistle in the other, while we're lying on the grass trying to remember how oxygen works. Honestly, I don't think PE is about fitness. I think it's just one giant experiment to see how long teenagers can survive before they collectively give up. Guys, holding the door for someone who's way too far away is one of the most stressful situations a human can experience. It starts innocently. You walk through a door, see someone behind you, and think, "I'll be nice." Then you look again, and they're like 40 meters away, but they've already seen you, so now you're trapped. You can't let go because that'll make you look rude, so you just stand there, awkwardly, pretending this was your plan all along. Meanwhile, they realize they're too far away, so they start doing that weird half jog. Not a full run, not a walk. That guilty little speed walk where they're smiling the whole time like, sorry. Now both of you are uncomfortable. You're holding a heavy door that's slowly trying to crush your arm, and they're sprinting across the parking lot because of a decision you made 3 seconds ago. Then they finally get there, completely out of breath, mumble, "Thanks," and disappear forever. Congratulations. You didn't hold the door. You accidentally organized a fitness challenge. Honestly, there needs to be an official distance limit. If you're more than 10 steps away, we're strangers again. Guys, I genuinely think the internet is trying to ruin our lives with these life hacks. Every time I see one, it's always someone saying, "Here's a trick that'll save you hours." And somehow it ends up taking my entire afternoon. Like that hack where you're supposed to peel garlic by putting it in 2 bowls and shaking it for 30 seconds. They make it look magical. Meanwhile, I'm in my kitchen sounding like I'm mixing concrete, and after a full minute, the garlic still has the skin on. And don't even get me started on those food hacks. Fold your pizza like this. Cut your mango like this. Suddenly I've got pizza on the ceiling and a mango that's somehow less edible than before. The best part is the comments are always like, "OMG, this changed my life." Changed it how? You're telling me you've been carrying bananas with a spoon taped to them because TikTok told you to? Honestly, I think half these life hacks are just people seeing how many strangers they can confuse before someone says, "Wait, why didn't you just do it the normal way?" Have you ever experienced this? Let me know in the comments. Guys, I think my mom and AI are in a serious relationship. At this point, if an AI-generated potato looked into the camera and said, "Good morning," she'd probably ask it how the family's doing. Every single day, she sends me another video. A lion rescuing a baby, a shark hugging a scuba diver, Abraham Lincoln filming a TikTok, and every single time she captions it with, "This is so beautiful." So I tell her, "Mom, it's AI." She just looks at me and goes, "No, you can tell it's real by the eyes." "The eyes? Mom, this man has 7 fingers." Then I'll pause the video and point out all the weird stuff. The melting hands, the floating objects, the dog that randomly turns into a cat halfway through. Doesn't matter. She'll just say, "Technology is amazing these days." One time she even sent me a video of dinosaurs walking through Times Square. I replied, "Mom, you know dinosaurs are extinct, right?" She goes, "Well, maybe they found some." At this point, I've stopped arguing. Every morning, I just wake up wondering what historical figure she's going to text me next. Honestly, I'm just waiting for the day she sends me an AI video of me and asks why I never told her I met Jesus. Does your mom do this too? Guys, I think accidentally waving at the wrong person is one of the most embarrassing things a human can experience. It starts so innocently. You spot someone across the room who looks exactly like your friend. Same hair, same clothes, same walk. So you get excited, throw your hand in the air, and hit them with the biggest wave of your life. Then it happens. They just stare at you. No wave back, no smile, just pure confusion. That's when your brain starts buffering. You slowly turn around like, maybe they're waving at someone behind me. Nope, there's nobody there. It's just you and the stranger wondering why you're so happy to see them. So now you've got 2 choices. Commit to the wave and pretend you know them, or slowly lower your hand and act like you were stretching. I always choose the stretch. Suddenly I'm out here doing shoulder exercises in the middle of a supermarket. Like I trained for this moment. The worst part, 5 seconds later, your actual friend walks up from the opposite direction. Turns out the stranger wasn't ignoring you. They were just trying to figure out why a random person was enthusiastically greeting the frozen food aisle. Has this ever happened to you? Let me know in the comments. The 3 most terrifying words a teacher can say are, "I'll wait." Because the second those words leave their mouth, the entire classroom turns into a hostage negotiation. There's always that one group at the back still talking, laughing like nothing happened. Meanwhile, the rest of us are staring at them like, "Please, just stop." Then, the teacher folds their arms, leans against the desk, and just waits. Nobody knows what to do. The room gets quieter and quieter until you can hear someone blinking. Even the air conditioner starts sounding nervous. Then someone drops a pencil. Every single head snaps toward them like they just committed a crime. The teacher doesn't say a word. They just keep smiling. Somehow that's even worse. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes. At this point, we've lost half the lesson, and the only thing we've learned is that silence is actually louder than talking. Finally, the class goes completely quiet. The teacher nods and says, "Good," then spends the next 15 minutes telling us how we wasted everyone's time. Miss, I don't know how to tell you this, but you were literally the only person who chose to wait. Has this ever happened to you? Let me know what happened in the comments. I think every student has had that one moment where they considered cheating on a test. You walk into the classroom knowing absolutely nothing. The teacher's handing out papers, everyone's looking confident, and you're sitting there wondering if writing your name correctly is worth any marks. So the test starts. Question 1, never seen it before in my life. Question 2, might as well have been written in ancient Egyptian. At this point, you start looking around the room, hoping the answers will somehow float into your brain through eye contact. Then you make eye contact with your friend across the classroom. He gives you that look. You know the one. The "I've got you" look. So you're thinking, perfect, this genius is about to save my grade. He suddenly points toward his paper, and that's when I realize he's just as lost as I am. He's not showing me the answers. He's asking me for them. Now we're both sitting there pretending to think really hard, hoping one of us magically becomes intelligent in the next 5 seconds. The best part? After the test, everyone walks out saying, "That was easy." Easy, brother. I just spent 40 minutes fighting for my life against multiple choice questions. Have you ever experienced this? Let me know in the comments. I genuinely think some people got their driver's license from a cereal box. I was driving the other day, minding my own business, when the car in front of me hit the brakes for absolutely nothing. No traffic, no red light, no squirrel crossing the road, just vibes. So I slow down thinking maybe there's something I can't see. Nope, they speed up again like nothing happened. 30 seconds later, they slam the brakes a second time. At this point, I'm playing a game of guess why we're stopping, and somehow I'm still losing. Then they put their indicator on. Finally, a sign of intelligence. Except they never turn. They just drive for the next 2 kilometers with it blinking like it's decorative. Then, without warning, they suddenly swerve across 3 lanes to make the exit they almost missed. No indicator this time, of course. Apparently, they'd already used up their daily blink allowance. The best part? We pull up next to each other at the next traffic light. I look over expecting to see someone texting or asleep. Nope, they're just sitting there, completely relaxed, like they didn't nearly send 12 people into retirement. Honestly, I don't think some people are driving to get somewhere. I think they're just spawning on random roads to keep the rest of us humble. Have you ever seen this? I'm convinced autocorrect wakes up every morning and chooses violence. I can type the same word 100 times, and the one time it actually matters, my phone decides it's suddenly a comedian. The other day, I was texting my mom trying to say, "I'll be home soon." Nice, simple. I hit send without checking it. 5 seconds later, she replies, "What?" I look back, and my phone had changed it too. "I'll be homeless soon." So now I'm trying to explain that I still have somewhere to live. Then it gets worse. When you actually misspell something, autocorrect just sits there silently like, "Yeah, that looks right to me. Thanks for the support." The best part is when you send the message before noticing. Now you're typing, "Sorry, autocorrect," but by then it's too late. The damage is done. Honestly, I don't think autocorrect is fixing my spelling. I think it's secretly trying to make me lose all my friends, one text at a time. What's your worst experience with autocorrect?